Hey everyone, good morning, afternoon, or evening. Well, Shrapnel has just completed their first STX1 event or Shrapnel training exercises from Thursday, Friday, Saturday, up until yesterday was a bonus day. And I gotta say one thing, holy... Now, before we continue, just a reminder, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm never going to tell you to buy, sell, hold. Do your own research, conduct your own due diligence before getting involved in any crypto project. And if you're totally digging, you're stoked, you're excited about any of the videos or live streams or whatever I'm putting out, like, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell. It's a small click for you, but it's a big deal for me. Shrapnel, as we know, is a first-person shooter game, and I'm saying that in the simplest terms. It's built solely on the blockchain. It's a Web3 game with a team of highly skilled, highly experienced on some massive projects. We're talking about Halo. We're talking about Call of Duty. We're talking about Star Wars. So the pedigree of the team and this company is very, very high. I played pretty much, not as much as I wanted to this weekend, but I was on for Thursday, and we'll talk about that, and Friday, Saturday, a little bit on Sunday. And what a fun, amazing, challenging game. So we're going to break it down day by day. Now, this was the first launch of this pre-alpha. Remember, this is a pre-alpha game. But that's the beauty of doing these kinds of early launches, these kinds of play tests, if you will. It gives the developers an opportunity to find what's wrong and fix it before the official launch. And they look to us as players, as gamers, to go in, play the game, give valuable, I should say invaluable feedback about what can be done to make it better. So Thursday evening, this past Thursday, the 8th of February, was scheduled to be the first day, the first official day of this launch of the Shrapnel training exercises. The one denotes like it's the first one. And if you add decimal points like 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. Those are like mini updates to the game. When we get into like STX2, well, then that's going to be a big adjustment in how they're doing things. So going forward, if you see a STX 1.2, that's a small update. If you see an STX2, that's a huge update. They've done a lot of different things. Thursday was the official launch. However, there were some issues. So the start time was scheduled to be 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time here in the U.S. or 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on the East Coast, which is where I live. And depending on where you are, where you were, would determine the time. Now, when the time came to the servers to be turned on, everything happening, there was a lot of issues, at least here in the United States, because Europe was able to play it before we were. And this was really not anything to do with the Shrapnel team. The biggest issue that we had on Thursday was matchmaking. There's a matchmaking service that Shrapnel uses to create the matches and to get people into the games and and go from there. Now, I don't know the circumstances, and I don't know. Maybe it was underestimated the amount of people that were going to show up for this, because from what I understand, on that first day alone, there were 20,000 gamers playing or trying to play. So I don't know the specifics. That may or may not come out through the Shrapnel team. That's beyond the scope of this video, but that was a huge issue. So for a lot of people, myself included, I really wasn't able to play. And you may or may not know this, but there was also a $100,000 prize pool for first, second, third, up to like 1,000, the top 1,000 in the leaderboard. However, due to the fact that half of the world was not able to play it at the time, they decided to scrap Thursday and start the leaderboard on Friday. It was scheduled to be the 8th, 9th, and 10th for 8-hour periods of time. Either 4 to midnight here in the East Coast or 1 to 8, I think it is, on the East Coast or wherever you are in the world. That Thursday basically was scrapped. It was more of like getting used to playing the game, get a feel for it, and then Friday we start. Friday came, loads of fun, very challenging. plus the fact that, you know, you're having to use like your keyboard and your mouse. By the way, I'm ordering a trackball. So if anyone has any good recommendations for a gaming trackball, please let me know, because I was using my mouse and the keyboard. I was getting greased, but I was learning and I was figuring everything out. So, because that was the first time I had a chance to play. There were missions to accomplish. There was 4 missions, right? So you had to get in and play once. Then you had to have 5 sessions. Then you had to extract 20 sigma minimum, and you had to kill off five bad guys. I really wasn't worried about it so much. I really even wasn't worried about, oh, I've got to be part of the prize pool or any of that stuff. I just wanted to play the game and get better at it. Yesterday was a bit of controversy because it was Super Bowl Saturday, but they decided to give people an extra day. So it started at 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, or 10 o'clock here on the East Coast, and went for 8 hours, which was fantastic. So just in time, those of you who are watch the Super Bowl, see, you had a chance to go in, kill some people, get extracted, get some sigma, and you're out. And by the time the Super Bowl starts, you're jamming, you're ready to rock and roll. My thoughts on this as a whole, I thought it was an amazing launch. The team was fantastic. As I was playing, I had Discord going, and they had a live stage where they were actually playing. The developers and community members were actually playing Shrapnel and going through and talking about it. So it was really neat, because the issues that were coming up on Thursday, especially after Thursday worked itself out, everything, to my knowledge, went nice and smooth. This was only for those who had extraction packs. If you had at least one extraction pack, then you could participate in the game. So all you had to do was create it, and I've been through this, but I'm going to do it again for the next one, because the next one's going to be on the 23rd. The 23rd, to my knowledge anyway, if I need to do an update, I will. The 23rd, the 24th, and the 25th of February, in a couple of weeks, is going to be the next Shrapnel training exercise. You've got a few weeks to, you know, get what you need together. You know, make sure that you have your Shrapnel account set in place. You have your Epic Game Store account ready to go. You know, all these things are set. You may check in on the requirements for the game, which I have in our community section. You're more than welcome to check it out and make sure that your computer fits the specs for the game. The goal is to get as many people on the game as possible. Right now, the standards are high because they're just working through everything. And from what I understand, they'll be optimizing it so it's more and more people can play, so you don't have to have such, you know, I guess, stringent requirements. Go through the specs if you're not sure. And, you know, that way you can, if you need to get something for it, you can. Overall, it was an amazing experience. And again, it's an extraction game. There's time limits. You got to get extracted with your sigma, all right, and you've got to do it without getting killed by others, because part of the strategies that people are using is they'll go to the extraction points, sit there, and when you come by, they'll just smoke you and take all your loot and then get out of there. Just look at it as practice. Just get used to the practice, and there you got plenty of time to become good at this game. Okay, you probably are amazing. I need to get better. So there's a $3 million total prize pool for the entirety of all the STX launches. I think there's like 3 extractions, right? So you got to get your Shrapnel, and then you got to get out. You keep your Shrapnel, and then it just builds up. So that's how they determine the leaderboards. If you're asking when launch, right? When release, I'm thinking probably beginning of 2025. So this year is all going to be about Shrapnel training exercises, keeping the game on all the time to allow people to play it and get used to doing it, having the prize pools and having them fix things and adjust things and do everything that the Shrapnel team needs to do to have this game rock. And I got to tell you, even in this, I'm going to use this term, even in its rough form, it looked freaking amazing. Okay, it looked great. So anyway, guys, This is kind of my take on Shrapnel. I think it has amazing potential. It was voted 2023 and 2022's most anticipated game. This year, I think we're really going to see it explode even more and getting more people involved and educate about Shrapnel. It's the Shrap token is the token that powers the game. It's on the Avalanche C chain. You can get it through Trader Joe's. That's what I did. Check out my videos below, and you're going to see how you can go ahead and get involved, even if you're not a gamer, but you want to maybe get the token because you're like, wow, this game has some amazing potential. Check out those videos. I'll tell you how I did it, how you can do it. I did a live buy. It shows you everything you need. It's really not that difficult. Nice. Have a great day. Thank you. And remember, here at the Crypto Dojo, crypto never sleeps.